Hello and welcome to Arsenal Domination, where I want to talk about Christian Mosquera following his half-time substitution on Sunday and what impact that may well have on him, and how Mikel Arteta can make sure that this doesn't affect him going forward, because it's going to be really important. He's a very young man with a bright future. But Christian Mosquera's start at Arsenal has been, very, very good overall. He sort of really made his sort of mark when he came on at Anfield just a few minutes into the game following William Saliba injury and him being able to unable to continue with the game. And we didn't look like we missed him, and he was outstanding in all the games since that point until William Saliba came back in. But at St James's Park on Sunday, he did struggle, unquestionably, in that first half. He unnecessarily conceded the corner that led to the goal, and it was his most difficult 45 minutes. But I think we need to have some element of understanding here. Yes, he's at a big club. Yes, he needs to play well. But he's still a very young defender. And young defenders in particular are the ones most likely to make mistakes. And he certainly wasn't horrific by any means. So I think it's going to be really, really important that everyone gets behind him and make sure that he sort of puts that to bed and he has the confidence to come back out and play really well in future games. But being subbed at half time is one of the most brutal sort of things you can have in football in many ways. And there is a concern about whether this will impact his confidence and how well he plays in the next game. He knows that he's behind William Saliba in the pecking order. He will have understood that when he came here, and I think that's clear and obvious. But he also probably won't have found it easy to have been taken off at half time in that game. But I think Mikel Arteta has a real opportunity midweek against Olympiacos to sort of show the faith he has in him by starting him in that game. Now, he may well be tempted to start Hincapié, who hasn't made his debut yet either. And making a change for two centre-backs in a Champions League game could be an incredibly risky thing to do. But I think given Hincapié's just come back from injury, and given the potential mental impact that could well have had on Mosquera, and of course we don't know, maybe he's absolutely fine and there's going to be no impact. But I just think that resting Saliba, who himself is coming back from injury, and playing Mosquera in that game would be a show of faith for Arteta. And a show of faith that I think in many ways Mosquera deserves. So we'll see what happens. Mikel Arteta will be in a better place to judge it than I or anyone else that's not associated with the club. But I think that would be a really sensible thing for Arsenal to look to do and pair Mosquera and Gabriel again in the Champions League game. It's a game Arsenal should win. They should be able to make a few changes and win that game. But the main thing I think is that Christian Mosquera continues to do well at Arsenal. He started really, really well, and I'm sure many other fans and players and coaches at Arsenal believe he has a bright future ahead of him.